Mr. Ulf Wakenius, you are one of the most gifted contemporary jazz guitarists. Is it difficult in some way for you to be considered one of the most gifted musicians in Europe?
No, it's more like a compliment, but I mean, I basically do what I love, that's playing music, and I try to just play myself and be true to my roots. I'm from Sweden, and basically I just go around and do what I love, playing guitar, and I've done it for many years, and the tough part is the travel, but it's always worth it, and it's very interesting to coming to new cultures, like coming to Romania today. It's always interesting.
Maestro Iiro Rantala, from your first musical experiences till now to this wonderful Rantala Wakenius duo, how would you describe your journey through music and life?
You mean the duo journey or my whole journey?
Your whole journey.
My whole journey, in a nutshell, it goes like this. I'm a son of bicycle shop parents, no artists in the family, they had a bicycle shop. And my mother took me to classical choir when I was 6, Cantores Minores, very famous Finnish boys choir. So my first musical experience was Bach, Mozart, Sibelius, some Verdi and great choir works.
We had some Mozart.
Yeah. So I was totally classical from 6 to 10. 10 years old, I started classical piano. I still very classical. But then at age of 12, 13, I heard some Chick Corea, Michel Petrucciani, and Keith Jarrett. And there was no going back.
They changed perhaps your perception about music.
They changed everything. They were the answer for my prayers.
Yes.
Because I was already playing some concertos, big piano sonatas, but I really wanted to get away from the sheet music. I really wanted to have more freedom. And then when I realized that, these guys, they're playing this theme and now, or Keith Jarrett, who is improvising the whole concert, then I was, okay, this is my thing.
How would you define now, in 2017, one of the greatest chapters of your career, when you've played for almost 11 years with the great and only Oscar Peterson?
I mean, it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing you get, and for me it was a dream come true. It's like a boy dream, and suddenly you get access to all the greatest stages of jazz in the world, So for me it was really a fantastic journey for a little more than 10 years.
How would you describe Oscar Peterson as a person?
Very loyal and demanding. He demanded that you always give your best, play on the top, and it doesn't matter how you felt that day, you always had to give everything you had. at the same time what you got back was a great loyalty. So I think for me he was my mentor, and he was a fantastic person because he always, even when he was old and sick, he always went out and did it full force. So I mean, it's really something to strive for, you know.
What is a seed of a composition for the composer Iiro Rantala?
Yeah. The seed is either, I mean, there's for me there's two categories. One is what I call a clear order. That can be a song for a singer. That can be a Christmas oratorio or an opera. You know, that's clear. I have to do this composition and I do it. And then the second category, which is much more difficult for me now, is the unclear piano piece. Because I've already composed piano jazz music for 25 years. And I've tried ragtime and tango and melodic and ballads also. So that's much more difficult for me. But if you give me good lyrics and a clear deadline, I'm a fast composer. But if I have to create something new, which sounds that I'm surprising myself, it's getting harder and harder.
He plays the guitar like he was born with it already in his hands, was how John McLaughlin once praised you. What would you say is unique about your sound, about your style of playing?
I think what is unique is partly that I come from Sweden, so I have those roots. And then I think it's how I blend things, what I have experienced through my life, with I kind of blending the thing with Oscar Peterson with contemporary stuff. So I take a lot of stuff that you used to hear in the 60s and I bring it up to 2017. So it's kind of it's a melting pot, and I think that's what makes me.
Your latest release, Father and Son, is brilliant. It seems John McLaughlin's words may also be valid for Ulf Wakenius, your son.
Wow, yes, and we just came from Yarasum Jazz Festival in South Korea, and it was fantastic. So to be able to play with your son is another dream coming true, you know, and we have our unique acoustic sound, so I'm very proud of that.
What are the biggest challenges when you compose different pieces in different genres?
Right now, the biggest challenge for me is how to keep it, at the same time, how to keep it simple and fresh sounding. Yes. So if it's too simple, it becomes Richard Kleiderman. You know, there's the Richard Richard Kleiderman red light is blinking behind my skull all the time. You know, that's because I want to make simple. I want to make simple stuff. I believe that so-called normal people who go to office or you know, they work at the bank or at the airport or they drive taxi, whatever, they don't want to hear complex atonal free jazz in the evening. So I try to reach people who are not jazz fans with the beauty and melodic and maybe some Scandinavian Sibelius, you know, yes, harmonics, and it's really difficult to balance. Keep it simple, but don't have a Richard Kleiderman effect, and that's difficult for me. Lars Danielsson, who is from Sweden, he's my guiding star in Keep It Simple. I think his composition Libretto is pure genius. It's so simple and so powerful, and he have many others. So he's my musical soulmate nowadays.
What is the essence of the Wakenius duo?
The essence is the same thing there. It's how we mix things. Because if you look at music, everything is done. It's nothing is completely new nowadays. Everything has always been done. So it's how you mix things, and at the same time you play yourself. You never try to play another man's experience. You tell your life story in the music, and you say, for me and for Eric, or for me and Iiro when we play, he's very proud he's Finnish, I'm very proud I'm Swedish. And the same with me and my son plays, we really proud we are Swedish people, you know.
You also have a fruitful partnership with the South Korean vocalist Yoon Sun-nach. How it is for you to play with her?
She's an angel. She's fantastic, and she has this you know, mesmerizing effect when she sings, you know. And she has this unique thing that she can sing a simple melody and people can start to cry, and she can also be like a vocal acrobat, you know. So she has many things going for her, and for me it's been like a magical ride for 7-8 years.
For many jazz admirers in Europe, you are the best pianist. Is it difficult somehow to be considered the best or one of the best pianists in Europe?
It's not a competition. If we talk about
in terms of pressure.
Yeah, it is right.
Pressure.
Well, I'll tell you a story. When I was 18 years old, I was going into Sibelius Academy Jazz Department and you know, applying, and there was a test, you know, you had to play. And there was one guy before me, and he's from Romania. He lives in, his name is Marian Petrescu, and he's my age, and he's the fastest piano player on earth. I mean, his technique is faster than lightning. So I was listening, you know, he was playing some Cherokee or something. I was like, oh my God, this guy is incredible. And he really played like, you know, Artetum style. Yes. He really checked that old school. And I was like, oh, I will never get in. We both were accepted, and this is how I, you know. Well, I was very glad to hear that. I think, yeah, that's a great compliment. But I don't take any pressure. I don't take any pressure. I just,
great.
Yeah, my real pressure is to come up with fresh musical ideas for me.
How would you describe your partnership with Iiro Rantala, a fantastic duo, a complex duo who plays from classical music to jazz?
With Iiro, I just told him what our strongest point is. First, it's when you play with a person in a duo, it must be a chemistry. Without chemistry, it doesn't work, and you must have a lot of. I mean, when you look at what Iiro is doing, he's really proud of being Finnish. He has a lot of classical background. So what we actually doing with the duo is we sound very European. And I just told Iiro, this could never. A duo like this could never come from the United States, because it's not good or bad, it's just different. We very, very solid with our feet in the European classical music. For him, Sibelius, and for me, many, you know, Swedish folk music, you know. So I think we have our unique sound, and we have a lot of fun when we play.
How would you describe your partnership with Ulf Wakenius?
We have a very nice thing going. We only got to know each other 2 years ago, and the duo has been working maybe 1.5 years, and now we finally have the album. It's great, and we both have this desire to go out and play. And we like this job, you know, and we also musically we think alike, you know. We have the jazz thing going on, but then again we confess our European roots, so we don't want to sound like Joey Calderazzo and Pat Metheny. So we know who we are, and we know what we want to do, and of course, and we both have another project, so we are not depending on only this. That could be a bad situation. So Ulf has his own bands, yes. Many duos and many projects. I have my things in Finland and other jazz things, so we are not like, let's play more. So we do this when it's fun, and now this is the most active time when the album is out.
How would you describe the contemporary Swedish jazz scene?
I would say it's pretty good. I mean, it's healthy. It's a lot of young, great musicians, and I think it's more great young musicians now than ever. It's not more jobs, it's not more gigs and concert possibilities, but I think you have more great young musicians than ever. They're really skilled.
Yes. Is it difficult somehow for you to create and play music in these turbulent times?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, it hasn't got easier to travel. It just got harder to travel. So I think we were joking this morning, like we are partly jazz musicians and partly Navy SEALs, So it's really tough. You have to go up early and you have to travel, and the planes are delayed or cancelled. So the travel part is the tough part for everybody. But if you should bring your music out to the people and the world, it's no other way. So today it's more important than ever to travel. Also, in an aspect to bring music in its, as you say, turbulent world with a lot of very bad things going on. Music is equals peace. Music equals peace.
What is the driving force behind Iiro Rantala's creativity?
I have to play. I have to play both practicing at home and also I have an addiction for performing. So if I don't play for 1 day or maximum 2 days, I get really restless. I don't have to play 8 hours or fill my day with piano, but if I don't see piano for 2 days, I'm going mad. So even on a family holiday, I go somewhere that I can play 1 hour, 2 hours. So it's really, I'm addicted to that. And if I don't have a concert for 10 days or 2 weeks, I'm really getting desperate. Also, as okay, this is it. I'll never play again. My star is falling. Nobody wants to hear me. I'm history. Here lies Iiro. Like deep thoughts of mortality comes to me. Now it's like that. And sometimes I work too much, and I think that, oh, now I don't want to see piano for 6 months. I don't want to go to any airport. And then after 2 days, I'm like, this is more. So it really is addiction, and you have to. I think you either have this or you don't have this. And there are many parents who come to me and they ask that, oh, I have this Michael. Michael is good with piano, and so can you tell how Michael can be a professional musician? And I always like, Michael either has it or he does. I can't put my energy, I can't put my addiction to Michael. So when the child is 10, 11, I can say 99% sure that is this guy or girl, are they going to be a professional musician, or are they going to play for the rest of their lives as a hobby, which is also good. But you can see and hear that force. It's not only in the playing, but it's like a little bit restless, and you're it's another breed.
How have any non-musical interests affected you musically?
I would say like this, I mean, to be a musician, you have to live it fully, you know. So it's not like you can allow yourself to play tennis or golf or whatever, you know. It's for me, my learning process is to meet other cultures. That's how I intellectually get something out of it, you know. But I mean, when people ask me what other interests, it's not time for other interests. You travel, you play, you compose, and I have a family. It's no time left.
How do you see the contemporary jazz record industry?
I think basically it's very easy. Internet changed everything. In many, many ways, you know. Internet not only changed records, it changed people, the whole world. So I mean, I think the record business is just one part of many things that changed when we have streaming, you have so many different things, you know. So I think, I'm an optimist. I think things will, I mean, we will always find a way, you know. But we have to think very, you know, we have to not invent, but we have to be really, you know, creative to find new ways, you know, to make musicians earn those money they should have, you know, because it's really, music is not for free, you know. It's really, I mean, people put in a lot of work, and it's really valuable.
It's too much technology in the 21st century. What do you think?
I agree totally, and I think it's like always when they say internet, yeah, many things is great. You can always double check. Somebody says something, and you can go in and double check if that's a lie or truth. At the same time, I think it has a very negative effect because people are bombarded with information. So the younger generations, they are so bombarded, so they like zombies. They don't have time to think. So I'm kind of worried how fast it goes. So I'm completely on the same level as you when it comes to that. You know.
What is your philosophy as a band leader?
It's a tricky job. It really is a tricky job. You are the catalysator between everybody, and you have to create a good mood between you and the players in the band. Also, you have to create a good mood between the band and the label, and with the band and the management and the booking agency. Then when you're performing, you have to create a good mood between the band and the audience. So everything goes via the band leader. So many things, and you have to, if the bass player is not happy, you can't tell that to the management or the audience. You have to deal with all this, and as it happens that after all this, many band leaders get very lonely because they are with everybody, but nobody is really with them.
If you could jam with other artists, living or dead, who would they be?
Sting. Sting. I would love to play with Sting and Steve Gadd. Both living.
Yes.
Both
Great,
living. Yeah.
Great drummer.
Yes.
You are essentially a melodic guitar player. Tell me more about your influences. Blues rock guitarists like Eric Clapton and Johnny Winter, and later fusion guitarists like John McLaughlin.
Yeah, I mean, I started like many guitar players from my generation with blues and rock, and it grew into, this Weather Report, John McLaughlin, all that fusion movement. And basically, the melodic thinking comes from Swedish folk music, that with a great melody you can go very far, So I mean, I'm always try to think melodically, and Iiro is the same. He's also very melodic, so we find each other there, So it's really important to not, for a guitar player, you have to tell people something. You can't just play scales or licks, You have to really come across with something that put people's emotion,
What does the word freedom represents to you in music?
Well, it represents, of course, freedom, but also responsibility. So something totally free, like a whole band playing atonal free jazz. I'm walking out after 6 minutes. So freedom means you have to have some responsibility. To me, I mean, a duo can play totally free, or of course one player. But when I see some bands just, searching and looking, that I get a headache. So if you want to be completely free in jazz, if you want to make a living with that, you should marry rich. Because there is no audience for that. I'm sorry. Yeah, well, just, get a rich wife or,
Now, in 2017, how would you define your remarkable journey through music and life?
I would just say I'm happy I'm still here, and I enjoy it even more now than I did before. It's not like, that it gets boring in any way or something, or you feel empty. It's kind of, it's the travel getting harder and the music getting fun, more and more fun for every day. It's more and more interesting because you open more doors. So I think I'm willing to take the challenge of traveling as long as the music is so great and creative and challenging.
How would you define the Finnish jazz scene now in 2017?
It's active and high quality and many good things going on. In my taste, it's a little bit too much inside Finland scene. If I would be a young player in Finland, I would try to connect with the other Scandinavian or with the Germans or much more than what they're doing. So, but this is in the genes of Finnish. We are not so good communicators than Swedish people. It's really true. Finnish people are at their best when they know something. They form a group of Finnish people and they make something that this is the best in the world. They don't even tell the world. They let the jungle drum Like Nokia. Nokia was in Finland. That was the first mobile phone. That was okay. We make it, but they made no noise about it. It was just, everybody wanted the mobile phone, so that was the perfect situation for Finnish people. And then 10 years after Apple, you know, we have a different one. And then, you know, Finns cannot do the marketing, but they're very clever of making something that is the first in the whole world. So it's a good scene, but you have to dig into it. It's not so open as a Swedish, Danish or Norwegians are incredible in marketing their jazz, but they have the oil money. Yeah.
Besides the music, what things are important to Ulf Wakenius?
I think the most important thing is that people learn to talk to each other, you know, in the world, you know, and we really, you know, get the people closer, and we can get rid of the politics, you know, because basically when people gets together, you know, doesn't matter where they are from, they usually find a very sympathetic way to communicate. So I think if the people in every country could start to get together more, and we can get rid of that elite, you know, we better off, you know.
Besides the music, what brings you joy in life?
Funny things. Yes. Funny things. There was one. Well, you know Will Smith, the American actor. Yes. He came to Finland a couple of weeks ago, and you know, one of these conferences that, you know, he speaks for 20 minutes and he gets a shitload of money. And then there was a questionnaire after his 20 minutes, and there was one question, and he gave a perfect answer. You know, I like this kind of stuff. Somebody from the audience randomly asked Will Smith that, what is your you know, recipe for a good life? And he thought about it for like 3 seconds, and he said, have fun. Have fun, because 87% what you do is completely pointless. Yes. in the universal, you know, experience, you know. So it's complete. So why don't you have more fun? Because of course it matters that what you do with your family and with your wife or with your so that is important. But you know, all the other things, most of us, what we do, it's totally pointless. I mean, because we are not Albert Einstein, or we're not the president of United States, or, you know, only few people can really change the world. Yes. So that's my new philosophy.
What is it as you go forward through life that you try, that you want to achieve artistically, creatively?
Now, I just want to achieve to going around and play myself and to play with people I love to play with. And I mean, everybody has, their dreams, and many of my dreams came true. I play with a lot of musicians I dreamt about. And see, it's not, for me, it's not like getting scalps, It's more like, today it's more important that you feel good when you travel with somebody, and you feel good when you leave when you come off the stage, and you felt this was really, rewarding. So for me, it's basically when I can play with people like Iiro, Jonsson, my son, and once in a while I do some projects. I'm going out with Bill Evans, Denny Chambers, and I do some American super band project, And I mean, and if I can realize some dream, like playing with, everybody, I don't like Wayne Short or John McLaughlin or you name it, you have your dreams. But I mean, I'm pretty content, I'm pretty cool with what I have done. So it's much more important that you go out on the road with people you like, and you create good music,
Thank you very much.
Cool, thank you.
What is it, as you go forward, that you try to achieve artistically, creatively?
I try to learn. It's a boring answer, but I really try to learn. Every year I try to learn something new. And it's not always connected just to the piano. 1 year ago I started making my first opera. I have composed piano concerto, Christmas oratorio, hundreds of songs and piano, but never opera. So, and I go like, okay, now I go to the library, I get Verdi, Puccini, everything, and I don't like German operas, more Italian. I really get into that. So I wrote my first opera in 7 months. Now we're translating this Finnish opera to Italian. And 2 weeks ago I already started my second opera about football. Oh. So now this is just an example. Now my life is full of opera, comical opera, and now I'm so into that. So, and this nonsense will go on maybe 2 years, and then I try to do something else. But that's the driving force, really.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Muzomesc. Thank you so much.